Hello and welcome to episode 5 of Brand Pitch. This time we're joined by one of the Y1 Hockey co-founders, Chris. We talk about the new range that's coming out very soon. We talk about the new products that they've launched in the past 12 months. And we also talk about what they look for in sponsorship applications. Hi Chris, thank you very much for joining me.
No worries, great to be here.
So you are about to, at time of recording, release your new range, which is the California range. So this is a brand-wide update. It's going to cover across all of your sticks, and you said some of the bags as well.
Yeah, so we've been working on this for basically all of lockdown. Really kind of happy to land on the California theme. I was originally born there in San Diego, played hockey for the United States for 5 years for the senior team, which was a great experience, and just really inspired by their sort of the sort of underground skate and surf culture that's come out of places along the coast there. And I just wanted to kind of bring something different to the hockey world for this range.
Oh, okay, that's very interesting that you would call out the surf and skate underground kind of atmosphere. I think there are times where that really gels with hockey, and there are times where I would say that they are polar opposites. So how do you see those coming across through the new range?
Yeah, so I think, you are right. Hockey, skate and surf have no correlation, but at the same time, we are a sport that is underneath, especially in England, underneath the likes of, football, rugby, cricket, and we are a smaller sport. And, I want to do things that make the sport more interesting, more appealing to new players that haven't really played the sport before, see it for the first time, and just make it a little bit more exciting and just think a little bit more outside the box than some of the stuff we've done in the past. The way we've kind of brought that range across is we've got really kind of small details near the handle. So the pattern, last year was all sort of like a Tokyo theme, and this year we've kind of worked with a designer called Nicole, who's amazing. She's kind of designed these little Californian graphics, like a Californian bear with a skateboard or like a motel sign, and so it's really kind of tiny detail, but that's what I quite like about it. When you get up nice and close to the stick, you start to see those things.
And we're going to see this theme carry across into the marketing for the new range. Is it going to have a kind of Dogtown home video kind of vibe?
Yeah, absolutely. So with lockdown, it's been an absolute pain, trying to do any sort of international travel. And we've had to really kind of, work with people in our community to bring this to life. So Ross from Leap Hockey over in the States, he's done a great job to, work with local photographers, videographers, models, hockey players. And so, we were lucky enough to do a shoot out in LA, Venice Beach, Santa Monica. So, I think for us, just having got the stick alone doesn't really make a range. That doesn't really make it. It's all about the connotations, the crossover, the marketing. So we've had a lot of fun kind of putting that together and coming up with some new ideas.
And I think marketing is something that Y1 really kind of leads the industry in terms of hockey, especially across social media. So how much planning and discussion goes on around all of your social media campaigns?
Yeah, so I think, as a younger, smaller brand, we have the ability to be agile and move quite quickly. So, some things we work on really quickly. We turn things around fast, which is one of our key strengths. I think, a team that is, willing to adapt and just if something pops up and it's great, then we can jump on it, and we don't have to have loads of meetings about it. We don't have to have lots of different decision makers who block things off. We just get things done. But then, I think for bigger things like a new range and a theme, that is kind of at least a year in the making, if not 18 months in the making. So that a lot of thought goes into that, and lots of discussions around how that's going to come across, how we're going to present that, which mediums we're going to use. This California collection, we've put in tons of work, and I mean lockdown in a way is like enabled us to focus on it a little bit more. It's made the shooting more difficult, but it's enabled us to focus a little bit more on this year, because in previous years, you're always out chasing your tail, just running around playing hockey as well. That downtime gives a little bit of opportunity to really step it up this year. So that's been cool.
Okay, so let's move on to the new stick. So you're planning to stick with the X range, the 90, the 70, and the 50 for the outdoor sticks.
Yeah.
And you're also sticking with your 5 molds that you had at the end of last season. So that's the YLB, the LB, the GLB, the ADC, and the mid-bow.
Yeah, absolutely. And with that, it's, as a young brand, again, I feel like if you're changing things up every single year, you're going to cause confusion. We need to sometimes simplify things. And, last year we did a lot of change. So last year we, innovated the new GLB mold, that has the kind of squared off backhand edge, which has gone down extremely well. The LB stick, continues to be our most popular stick in the range. YLB, great for flicking, and Brendan and Anna Toman absolutely love the MB range. So it's one of those things where you're going into an Olympic year, and if you start switching things up, you're going to annoy your athletes at the top, and they don't have enough time to practice with the new product. And again, we just didn't want to keep adding stuff to the range. So yeah, we've really simplified. Last year we brought in the Swedish carbon fiber, which, again, people absolutely loved it. So, if something's not broken, you don't need to go crazy and completely switch things up. So this year we've just made small changes based on community feedback. So, the end cap has changed to, enable dampening vibration and that side of things. So just little tweaks to the stick that do make a difference. And again, as I said, it's all about community feedback. If we were having discussions with Phil, Brendan, whoever, Hendrik, saying, I really need this in a stick, 100%, we work closely with them to go and innovate new things based on demand from the players. But we didn't have that. But the end cap we did have. We did every Black Friday, we do a limited edition number of prototype sticks. And from that prototyping phase, we found that people love this new end cap. So that was kind of the small tweak we have made.
Yeah, so let's quickly talk about the Black Friday prototypes. So you've been doing that for the last few seasons. Last season, it was the Japanese carbon versus the Swedish carbon. This year, it's the CPP and the GLW, if I'm remembering correctly.
Yeah.
How did those two sticks feed back into what has become the new range?
So, yeah, going back to the Swedish carbon versus the Japanese, Project Sweden versus Project Japan. So that was probably the most successful prototyping phase we've done. So again, a lot of other brands will, keep their prototyping really close knit, really in-house with their top players, and that determines what the new product is. Whereas with us, we do, like the season before, put it out to the community of 100 hockey players, first come, first serve basis. You don't need to be sponsored. You can be anyone from anywhere. And I think that's how we can get the best improvements, because sticks aren't only for international players, sticks are for everyone. And I think that Sweden versus Japan thing, we just saw an astounding response from the feedback from those 100 people for that new Swedish top layer. And yeah, so we ran with it. And again, that wasn't a decision based on just Tom Carson and Phil Roper. It was a decision based on 100 people. And again, that's when we came up with the GLB. So we created the GLB. We launched it for Black Friday. Again, people love the backhand edge, and we brought it to market. So, it's a really cool way to open up product testing to a pool of people who really care about your brand and who really are invested in it and love it. So yeah, that's been it's been a great tool for us, and that's how we brought the new end cap to the market as well.
So on the GLB, obviously launched last season. I've personally had some time with it. There's a review up on my YouTube, on Instagram, pretty much everywhere. I really enjoyed the backhand edge. How long was that in the works before it came to the Black Friday stuff?
I mean, ages. I mean, if you think of, like, let's just say, you release a range in June, Black Friday's in November. So that's already how many, 8-9 months. And then you've got to go through a whole prototyping stage before that, making it to a 3D CAD, checking the CAD, creating the mold, doing the initial, first line of prototypes, making sure that's all good, tweaking it, going back again. So, if you think until that stick's actually released, that's a good 2+ years to bring that to life. So yeah, it is a long time. It is a lot of work, but I really think it pays off, because bringing something unique to your own brand and innovative that hockey players like. And again, that stick is not for everyone. We're not trying to say it is, and that's why we have sticks that are similar, bow positions, bow placement. But for a few of our top players like Freke Moos, who plays in Holland, Sophie Bray uses it. It's gone down an absolute treat. So I think that hard work is really worth it.
No, excellent. Like I say, I have my review up online so people can go and see my opinion of it as well. You have the mid-bow range. I noticed in previous years the mid-bow has been left out of the X series. So last season, I believe it was still the mid-bow braid.
Yeah, correct. And again, that is just based on, that stick is used by Brendan Creed, Anna Toman at the top international level. And again, we did give them demo products that were, you give them side by side, the Swedish carbon version, and you give them the braided carbon, braided jacket. And again, just feedback from them was that, don't change it. It's a great product. It's keep it simple. Don't overcomplicate things. And again, we're all about the players. We want to keep these players happy. We have a really close relationship with them. I think that's one of the massive benefits of our company is like, Brendan, we went to primary school together, secondary school, like we've grown up, and we have this close knit bond with them. And again, I don't want to go and change something just for the sake of it, to like say you're creating something new and cool and create some cool marketing around it. I want to make sure that those people who are going to the Olympics, going and playing on that top stage, are happy with what we have in the line.
Yeah, and around your sponsored players, obviously you've kind of built your brand around your British ambassadors, as you said, Phil, Brendan, Anna Toman. You've started branching out to look for other ambassadors, for example, Alexander Hendricks. Are they going to have a similar focus in a post-COVID world where you can get out and have people traveling in the marketing, as we have seen in the past with your British ambassadors?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, when we sign a player, it is very much a mutual thing. We're not going to, there's a lot of players out there who potentially just after a paycheck and go out to speak to 5 or 6 brands to make them battle it out, whoever will give them the most money. And that isn't what I want, and we don't sign players that are like that. You want someone who really invests in the brand we're building, the ethos, and that cares about it. And by doing that, you get so much more out of the player. It's not a contractual obligation, in a contract, post 2 things on Instagram a month, that just, it doesn't happen. For us, it's very natural, very organic. So, signing someone like Hendricks, it was really, just a complete, mutual thing. Both parties really wanted to work with each other, saw the value of Alex being, top goal scorer at the World Cup, the Euros, unbelievable flicker. And he just really loved what we're doing in the UK and bought into it. And so, during COVID, it's been, and as I said before, it's been really challenging. You get these players on board, and then you just can't get out there because of what we've been going through. But obviously, that is a minor issue compared to what other people have been going through this year. So I'm not complaining about it. But we 100% want to involve them as much in our marketing as possible, tell us their story, big up their profile more. Again, that marketing thing isn't just, you sign a player to sell you sticks. We sign a player, we want to tell their story. We want to big them up and put them on a bigger platform and create cool marketing for them, so they can benefit in other ways. We've just hired a content creator who's full-time with the brand, and that's really going to enable us to just do more and not do it so infrequently. It's now going to become a real daily occurrence that we're doing something cool, I think.
And I assume part of their job will involve working with these sponsored athletes to create content. Is the travel budget going to be able to cope with that when they all go overseas after the Olympics?
Yeah, I think, it's not difficult after COVID for us to get out to Belgium, Germany, Holland, and it's a pretty fun trip and something that we haven't been able to do. So I think I'm absolutely raring to go on that front, getting out there and making it happen. And again, it's all about just being sensible, doing it, in one go, traveling around to these different places, bringing players to you. I think it's all going to be possible, and I can't wait to get back out there on the road.
No, that sounds really cool. So we'll move back across to the product. So the other thing that we discussed at the start was the new range of bags. So are the bags going to be of a similar form to the Tour Deluxe bag that you have now?
So the Tour Deluxe bag is coming to an end. You know, we do have stock left, and we are going to still be selling that this season. But it's a pretty big bag, and it's only right for certain players. You know, not everyone wants a bag that big, but some people that are traveling around a lot, they really do. So we're kind of focusing more on, you know, the Ranger backpacks, the match day bags, like the barrel bag shape, because they've been extremely popular for us, and we sell much more volume of that than we do the deluxe bag, just because it's a much more versatile bag. You know, you go to work, you go to school, put your stuff in there, your hockey kit fits in as well, stick holder down the side, and we're just seeing in the UK market, like, people are moving more towards that, you know, like a match day bag with a stick holder down the side. We've now got that's not for this launch in June. That is coming sort of just before the Olympics. We've just moved that into more colorways. So, you know, we've got a light blue, we've got a pink, we've got orange, we've got black. They're really excited for how they've come out.
Okay, I look forward to seeing them. And continuing with your product, we talked a little bit before about your shoe offering. So as we have discussed, you have partnered with Nike to help promote their hockey shoe as they take their first steps into the hockey market. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, so I think for us, it was a really clear decision that, you know, we have always thought about shoes, and we just feel that, you know, partnering, you know, selling a brand that is, you know, market leader for footwear is a really good move. And again, it gives us the opportunity for those top players we do bring on board to get them wearing a shoe that we sell, that we can provide them. Phil Roper, he's wearing the Nike shoes, you know, blue pair, the red pair. And again, it's just an amazing brand to be able to work with. I just think developing our own shoe in-house, you know, it's extremely costly. You know, there's a lot of sizes, there's a lot of stock holding, and, you know, other brands have failed at it, or it has put a real struggle on cash flow. So I personally think, it's better for us to work with a market leader like that than to be developing our own shoe.
And exactly how did you make the initial connection with Nike?
It's an interesting question. You probably have to ask Tom Carson about that a little bit more, because he's been the man behind that, my co-founder. It's just working with the individual that's selling it into the hockey market, and, you know, showing them that we are an innovative brand, we are one that's pushing the hockey market to do better and, you know, improve on the marketing. And I think they really like the fact that, you know, we're not just selling a product, and we're not just sticking it on our website. We are doing more than that. You know, we're getting athletes wearing it at the top of the level. They'll be wearing it at the Olympics, and also just being able to market that in a really cool way in the UK. I think that's kind of why they were keen to work with a brand like us.
Cool. And again, to continue with some of your products, over the past 6 months or so, you've come out with a few hockey interventions that have been more targeted towards the at-home play. So the first that you launched was the Skiller mat, which, if I remember correctly, sold out in 4 colours at the initial launch.
So we started off just with a green, then we moved to a blue, and then for, I think it was Christmas, I think we had green, blue and red that all sold out really quickly.
And what was the decision making behind launching the skill mat?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's no hiding that, COVID and lockdown was really hard for everyone. You know, it was a tough time. Weren't able to get on the hockey pitch. It was, it was difficult with parents, with kids, you know, stuck at home trying to do the homework. Parents trying to work. You know, it's just really challenging for everyone. And, you know, as a brand that can, as I said earlier, that can move quickly and can adapt and, you know, can can just try, we're always just trying to make things happen and trying to make things happen quickly. So we wanted to allow players to carry on playing at home, practicing their skills, not always doing it on the carpet, or if they're in the garden, it's a bit annoying doing it on the grass. So trying to gamify a product that had markings that they could dribble around. We put drills out on Instagram that Tom was doing, James Carson did a few for us, and Jimmy Culnane as well. He was really good in terms of like getting people active at home. And yeah, the main thing for that was to bring a product that people could play hockey at home and also bring it at an affordable price point. So we did tons of I was literally like running around for weeks trying to see how I could make this product happen, make it work, finding a workshop we could do it in. It was really manual. This wasn't like just asking a factory to produce you 500 of these things. It was like all doing it by hand ourselves in a workshop. So it's a lot of work, and again, it was expensive for us to do. It was time consuming, it was costly, it took ages for these things to dry. So we just wanted to bring it at a price point that was really affordable and the lowest price point we possibly could, for us to make a bit of money on it. And yeah, that was the main thing. It was just COVID. And again, as a company, we weren't selling hockey sticks. No one was really selling hockey sticks when you went into a lockdown. So there was no need for it. So as a company, I want to be able to pay my staff. Growing team. We want to make sure that all these things are possible. So it was really out of necessity for us to bring in revenue and also to bring in a product for people to be able to keep playing hockey.
It's really interesting. I didn't know it was a manual process that you were doing yourselves.
Yeah, it was. It was a lot of hours in a workshop, and we were pulling in friends, family. My mum and dad were packaging some up at one point. Tom's brother and his dad were making these in a workshop. So massive thanks to everyone that pulled together and made it possible for us, because without them, we wouldn't have been able to do it.
Interesting. And we'll move on to the other innovative product that you brought out, which is the Hockey Smash. Now, if I'm remembering correctly, this launched as a Kickstarter originally to help you fund getting the products made and to market. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
And what was the thinking behind the Hockey Smash?
Well, for us, again, this was before COVID. So we were just thinking like people during the summer can't really always get on a hockey pitch, and you're traveling, you're going to the park with your mates, you're in the garden, and the leagues are finished. Let's make a product that would be really fun to play in the garden or down in the park with your mates. It just came from that, really. We just thought it would be a really fun product. Obviously, we took inspiration from another game, and I've had people commenting about it. Spike Ball is obviously a game that you play with your hand where you smash the ball into the net. And, people are obviously saying, you've ripped off this product. However, if you put them side by side, Hockey Smash is, about double the size of one of these nets. And we basically started this process by trying to play hockey on a spike ball net. And even, with players like Tom Carson that have played Great Britain and England, and, 4 hockey players standing around there trying to hit the ball into the net, it just wasn't that fun. And it wasn't because you couldn't always hit it. It was really difficult. The net was way too small to make that happen. So we kind of went, right, this could be a really fun game, made it twice the size, got samples in, absolutely loved it. It was just like a lot of fun being able to play hockey and practice your hand-eye coordination, volleying, whilst not on a hockey pitch, which, before COVID, we were like, no one ever played hockey when they weren't on the hockey pitch. And we did the Kickstarter, not so much just to get the money in. That was more to see what the demand was and if we could create demand and show people how fun this was. So that was a really good way to get those early adopters to go, if the demand's there, we make it. If the demand isn't there and this doesn't fund, then it's not a good product and people don't want it. But obviously, exceeded its funding target, went into production. And then, about 6 months later, we went into lockdown, and then it was absolutely perfect for, whilst people couldn't get on a pitch, and literally, I think 300 sold in the first week of the very first lockdown. And then I couldn't get any more because, producing overseas and getting it shipped in just wasn't possible during COVID. So, it was quite an interesting, a bit of luck involved, the fact that we had a great off-pitch product when COVID hit.
And is this something that we're going to see popping up at any Y1 booths at any major tournaments?
Yeah, so we've just got a new batch in that's just arrived, and yeah, obviously summer's coming up. It's perfect summer product. So yeah, definitely what you'll see it about. We'll be putting some videos out on social media. Some of the camps that we partner with, like JK Hockey, they have these, and they'll be using them at their camps for a bit of fun at the start of the day. So yeah, you'll definitely be seeing more of it.
Okay, looking forward to that as well. Okay, so moving on to some brand related questions. So, what would you say to a player in store looking to choose between a Y1 hockey stick and another leading hockey stick?
Yeah, it's a difficult question, but for me, it does come back to feeling part of a community. I do feel that Y1, we do have a really nice like community feel, and people, yeah, feel part of this. We call it the Y1 Nation, and I just see so much of people, posting our product on social, unprompted, every time they're out on the pitch. You see someone else with a Y1's hockey stick. I think that people that get this sort of ethos about reinventing the game and trying to improve the sport and make it, make it a bit cooler. It's not the coolest sport in the world when you're growing up at school. Like this is just when I started the brand. I always think back to when I was playing hockey at school. I'd be walking down the corridor with a hockey stick, and it was you weren't walking down that stick with like swaggering. You're a bit like nervous and embarrassed, and you get rugby boys and hockey and football boys, giving you a bit of stick. And we want to make this sport a bit cooler, and we want to take inspiration from other more professional sports, and make that young hockey player feel like they are part of something and feel like, yeah, it is cool to play hockey, and they do have a bit more pride walking down that corridor. So for me, obviously, yeah, technical wise, we've got some great sticks that people are absolutely loving, and the feedback's been amazing, and you've obviously tested them yourself. So product wise, I just think that LBX is just an absolutely amazing stick, and obviously I'm so biased, but yeah, people seem to be loving it. And then just on a brand point of view, I think it is just about feeling part of something, and not just kind of, not just buying a stick. I feel like you're buying into something a little bit more.
And on that, the name Y1, where did that come from?
Good question. So basically, me and Tom went to Exeter Uni together, started up a onesie brand, and we were batting around names. This was back in like 2012 when onesies were super popular. We started a onesie brand, and we were batting around names. We were like onesie this, onesie that. And we're like, yeah, but if the onesie fad dies and it's not going to be, it's not, that brand is over then. If you call it onesie something. And then we like the word, then the word young ones came up, and at this time we were like young founders, and yeah, it just the name, we literally just kind of wrote out all our hundreds of ideas of crappy names, and then we stuck with young ones, and then obviously went from a onesie brand to a clothing brand, and then 2015 became a hockey brand, and we kind of felt that young ones was great for our clothing. But then we felt with hockey we wanted to be a more performance-based brand. We felt that Y1, our logo was Y1, but the name was Young Ones. So we now call the hockey side of it Y1 Hockey, teamwear is Y1 Sport, and our clothing is Young Ones. So yeah, it just kind of all stemmed from that journey.
Do you think your Dragon's Den appearance would have gone differently if you were pitching Y1 Hockey or Y1 Sport?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think with Y1 Hockey, let's be honest, we probably wouldn't have gotten the show. I don't think it would have been as interesting for the production company to go, let's get this hockey brand on. That's going to appeal to 5% of the UK. I don't know. So I think the fact that onesies were, we got in at the right time, really good product, great price point. And yeah, I think that just was a lot of fun getting the Dragons, trying them on. And obviously that appearance, getting offered investment on there, that properly was the start of start of the journey, and that's where me and Tom kind of got a bit of a name in the hockey market, and people really took notice. So it's a huge part of our journey. Obviously, we weren't even selling hockey sticks then, but still think it's definitely helped get us to where we are today.
Interesting. Okay, so as a brand, I'm sure with your social media reach, you get a lot of sponsorship applications. What would you like to see coming in on more sponsorship applications?
Yeah, another really good question. I mean, I think, a lot of players are spread betting, and you can see it, you can see it from a mile off. People that are just filling out loads of applications. They don't really care about your brand. They just want discounted product. And again, we pick those players out and cull them because we know they're not right for our company. Again, it's people that really understand what we're doing. They're maybe even already, hopefully already a customer, before they become sponsored. I wouldn't just say only join Y1 when you get sponsored. Like, that's just ridiculous. You want someone that loves your product and loves your brand. So I'd say, if you're already using the product, then that's a real tick. And then once you get to that next level, then and you qualify for sponsorship, then brilliant. I'd say try and learn how to spell sponsorship. I think that's I'd say probably 1 in 3 spell it wrong. I say that's just it's just like a real lack of detail. Just spell it right. So yeah, that's 1 point for me. And just understand this isn't just you getting a product for free or a discount. It's a mutually beneficial thing. This happens, at all levels. It's not just the younger people that are filling out these sponsorship applications and it's really obvious they don't care. It's right through to top internationals. It's really obvious at all levels. You can see straight through it. So we want to find players that really care about our brand and will really care about you back. We want to work with these players from Futures Cup, then getting progressed to NAGS, then getting into senior international. We want to grow with these players and we want to offer you that additional support and make you feel like a professional athlete from, we want to help you grow from that age of, 15, 16. We aren't just supporting those top players. It's an interesting question. I just say, do your research and make sure that you make sure that you're offering the brand something. It's not you're just asking for something. Has to be a two-way thing.
Interesting. And finally, if you were given a golden ticket, so you could lift any athlete from another brand and bring them to Y1, who would you pick?
That's a really good question and something I hadn't actually really thought of. I mean, Frederica Matlow's pretty cool. I mean, she just is an absolute gun. I mean, the amount of goals she scores, that backhand of hers, it's just incredible, like watching her play. So, I mean, more from just an admiration of just seeing someone like just an unbelievable player tearing it up. I think she's really, really impressive. And I wouldn't be ashamed if she was part of Y1. But yeah.
Excellent. Is there, as a final question, we always like to ask, is there anything that is part of Y1 hockey that you think doesn't get enough limelight?
Yeah, I think our teamwear side of the business massively, this is down more to us, it's massively ticking along in the background. But, it actually makes up about 25% of our business. Actually, no, I'm lying. Actually makes about 35% of our business. And, really popular in universities. And it's something we just haven't really marketed that well because we've been so focused on like, let's show people the sticks. Let's really try and, market the hockey sticks as well as we possibly can. And in the background, we've been working on teamwear for many years now. We work with some top clubs like Wayfarers, who are the biggest club in the UK. And yes, we've just gone and developed a full range of recycled teamwear. So like not just a plain shirt from recycled material, but like every single product is from recycled material. And also quite a few of those products are now coming from UK based factories. So I think that's something, now we've got this content creator, we can really start to shout about a little bit more. But yeah, we've put in tons of work in the background. The team has done an amazing job. Like George and Alex, absolutely smashed it. And yeah, that's something we just haven't really marketed and spoken about, but a lot of work has gone into it, and I think it is going to really improve the sustainability of our brand.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you for your time and for this exclusive look into the new range that's coming out soon.
No worries, thanks so much. Really appreciate this, and yeah, the stuff you're doing for the hockey world is amazing, and you're always there and you're always working hard behind the scenes. So just many thanks for everything you're doing for the sport as well. Really appreciate it.